I think we should talk about what people have really liked in relation to that whole sustainable thing. And there are some plants that have really talked to people. I mean, the alder, that lovely cutleaf alder has been very popular because it's a nitrogen fixer that is a native plant to us, and people aren't used to seeing that. That's been popular.
And it's also one of the first that goes in if you're building long term.
Yeah,
In the forest, building a garden.
Absolutely.
To begin with.
I think people have found it quite easy to grasp this whole concept of the fact that the forest has 7 layers, and that actually when they go into a wood, they're seeing those in action. So therefore, when they start to look at the plants here, and they begin to realise that actually they're crammed in because that's what would happen in the forest, then it begins to kind of sink in. It's almost been self-explanatory in a way.
Yeah, we were worried about it when we first started doing it because it's quite a difficult concept to get across. But maybe it isn't.
And also, I think that it's exciting to see loads of plants together that are useful, edible, medicinal, for forage, food, fuel. This is, they're strong. It's a strong relationship you can form straight away, isn't it?
Yeah. It is.
And people don't realise the diversity of plants until often they take it for granted. Things are just green, look like that, and they don't look deeper often.
But the thing, because they are edible, medicinal, or useful, it gives a way for people to actually interact with nature rather than if it was just ornamental, you'd just be looking at it. But because they've got uses that people can relate to or understand, I think it does make it a bit more interesting.
And in terms of a show garden, which is what this is, I've been working backwards and saying, when you put all these together, you have a forest, and then you have a model of the most sustainable environment found anywhere on the planet, which is what the forest is, because it's self-perpetuating, and if you leave a forest alone, it remains a forest, and one plant replaces another when it dies, and it's a safe environment for animals, humans, birds, insects, soil life, and it goes on renewing itself. And so it's almost, in the case of this garden, it's almost a case of working backwards, rather than presenting the model first. As you say, people pick out the plants and think, oh, that's great, that works with that, and then you take a step back to what its concept was in the first place. So
and our immediate, obviously our brief has always been, because of Start, is to get a response from people to have a go. And it's that giving them a platform where people say, I can do that, I can really do that. And that's been lovely this year, is again having people come back and say, we tried it, we're trying it, we're going to go,
like they did last year with the tins and the green walls and
the edibles,
all those exciting new ways of growing in urban environments. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's just really satisfying on that level.
Absolutely. Yeah, one of the things that's been quite interesting to explain has been about the importance of nitrogen fixing.
Yes.
And this idea of this key species that feed all the other plants.
That's been a show.
So you're not bringing, you don't need to bring in fertiliser or compost or manure because it should be self-sustaining.
The forest does it itself.
Yeah. And from the great Sephora, the Japanese pagoda tree, all the way down to the tiny clover and the climbing beans, they all do it all in different layers. That's really
It's
nice.
one of the great miracles of nature, isn't it? One amongst many, but the fact that plants can take atmospheric nitrogen and hold it in bacteria on their roots and distribute it to themselves and other plants. I mean, it's almost up there with photosynthesis in a way, isn't it? It's astonishing. So it's good to accentuate that, and people really grasp that.
Yeah.
I've been surprised how many people didn't realise that daylilies the flowers are red. Loads of people are saying, can you read? I wish we'd had more so we could actually give them out to everyone.
I've given a few actually.
I've given some of the Aztec sweet herb out, that's been popular.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and the petals on the pineapple guava.
Yes, that's popular.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been fun, I'd say. And I also like, last year the garden was very much recycled, everything was recycled. This year we've had a chance to show good craftsmanship as well. Jay doing the willow, Simon doing the timber constructions, Nick doing the woven rebar, which has been quite popular. it's nice to show crafts because I think they've got an important part within this whole.
Well, I mean, the blacksmith Dilly, who made all our planters, you know,
Yeah.
a legend who can forge anything we need. You know, he's been unbelievable for us.
Right, and in a way the plants are indicating their own recycling, aren't they, in terms of the forest. So it is sustainable. The whole thing as a unit is sustainable.
One more day to go.